got me a chick. She wanna fuck, she know I'm a nigga. She wanna fuck, the ice on my neck. I ain't no Ricky, bitch, I'm a bitch. You don't wanna test, she don't love me, she just wanna sit, yeah. Don't wanna test, she don't love me, she just wanna sit, yeah. Wanna fuck, got me a chick. She wanna fuck, she know I'm a nigga. She wanna.
Hi everybody, welcome to Guerrilla Mafia News here. Welcome to the Salt Flats. We're here today with my boy Dustin. He has hemp farms, the hemp Don. He's the man with the master plan, okay? And today we're gonna ask him a little bit about what's going on in the farm, what is his future projects, and what he's got going on. So Dustin, why don't you tell him a little bit about yourself?
Well, we, Great Basin Hemp Farm Co-op. We have a farm in Holden, Utah, pretty small. We help out a lot of other farmers, though, like one of our partner farms this last year put in 75,000 plants, harvested it successfully, quite a bit of
That's a lot of plants.
Yes,
You know, y'all had to excuse me for a minute there. You know, my brain kind of couldn't process all of that.
That was just one of our partner farms. We have several. You know, we help out a lot of people along the way. Basically, what we do is we get everybody to chip their money in so they could get better prices on stuff. We can order bulk.
So it's like a commemoration.
Yes, we all just come together and throw our money into one pot and get bulk buys and stuff instead.
Okay, so how long have you been doing this? I mean, what made you want to start? Did you just wake up one morning and say, "Damn, I'm gonna be a hemp farmer in Utah"? or was it just, or was it a lot of things that just led up to that?
I was a career drug dealer. So, I sold pot.
At least he's honest.
I sold pot and then I ended up in jail. You know how it goes.
The popo.
Yeah, so I got clean about 2012 off all the drugs, and because that wasn't just pot, and then I got onto the pharmaceuticals, and they didn't do me any favors. So I found hemp because for some reason the THC makes my heart wig out. I'll take one hit of THC and my heart will hit 200 beats per minute and stay there for 4 hours, and I gotta
that's not good.
plead with God to save my life,
You sure that was just some ganja? Somebody could have slipped you a little something that was different. Oh my God.
You never know these days.
You can't trust anybody. So you know what? You can't never. And I don't never judge a person by what they lived and how they lived their life before, because something had to get them to where they are right now. And that you had to go through all of that in order to get to where you are right now. Now where you went from it being a hindrance to you to the point being that you're helping a lot of people out now. You're helping a lot of people. So you know what? My curiosity is that I always ask, and a lot of my viewers and everything, they may not know, okay, there's CBD, there's hemp, there's regular, marijuana that got THC in it. And I know that, none of the hemp or the CBD here in the state of Utah can have any THC in it. So I'm just a little curious about how does that process go? How can you have something to make the CBD products or just a hemp product? Like, they got hemp cereal, they got hemp soap, they got hemp, all that kind of stuff. Which you better look out, okay, because he gonna be having that soon, okay, so y'all want to get that complexion right. But what is the process of that? How is it that you can take a plant and take away certain components of it and then still be that plant?
Well, the simple answer is it don't. Once you isolate it, it's not the same thing. A lot of people like to pretend that it is, and it does have medical benefits in isolate form. I'm not going to say it don't, but it's not the same as a full plant extract. And CBD itself does have THC in it when it's grown. It's got very low levels of THC, but if you use enough of it, it will make you test positive. So that's why you need to be careful which format you're buying it. If you're buying a full spectrum, it's going to have THC in it, and use it once or twice a month, you're probably going to be okay. But if you start using it every day, the small amount of THC in your system will build up, and then you'll fail. Then you have a broad spectrum, and what that is it has everything but the THC in it, which is a good option for people who have drug tests and stuff like that. And then you have the isolate that has nothing but CBD.
See, you're blowing my mind right now, because I never knew there was so many processes to that one plant. And it's still just the plant. And that's, why I wanted to get you on here, and we talk about that a little bit here today, is because so many people don't understand, the difference. You know, they think that, oh, it looks like weed, so it's weed. You know, like I'm saying, it looks like it's, it's ganja, but there's so many processes that people don't understand that, the isolation of that.
People like to separate hemp from marijuana, but really it's the same exact plant. And it's more of a spectrum of plants. So you've got a chemotype, and what that is the chemical type of the plant. So you have CBD, you have plants that are high in CBG that have no THC in them. You have THC plants, you have some that have gone too far, like because THC when it degrades it turns to CBN. And there's a lot of different variations there. So you've got a whole spectrum down from the crappiest hemp you can think of that's super tall, the kind that grow in Thailand, all the way till, your medical marijuana. And you have everything in between, 2 to 1s, where it has 2 parts CBD to 1 part THC. It's still 10-15% THC, it still has 20% CBD. Where then you have, on the opposite end, you have 20% THC with 10% CBD, and then you have 30% THC with 0 CBD, and then on both sides of the spectrum, it just goes, the clock can go back and forth anywhere.
So in the state of Utah, what does the percentage have to be? It has to have no THC in it whatsoever? I mean, because I know they keep changing the laws and things keep going through, so it's kind of like hard for for people to grow or to do it. I just don't understand what's going on, because one minute they say, you got to get a card, then they make it hard as hell for you to get that damn card, and then when you get the card, you can only go to certain people, certain things, and once you go to them certain people, you can't go to somebody else. It's not like Colorado where you could just train jump to every damn dispensary that there is. They got coupons and everything, specials. But Utah don't have that. It's like, and I noticed that the THC value in a lot of their, the medicine that they do have now is very low.
Yeah, even the best stuff around here is mid-grade on a national level. You know what I mean? There is some, Redbeard grew some fire genetics for Dragonfly, and I could be wrong, but it's my understanding that he's no longer with them, and I'm not sure what happened there, but
we ain't putting nothing out there. We don't know. We just, putting that things out there in case any of y'all haters want to get out there and start talking some stuff.
No, that's my dude. I like that guy's. Hopefully one day I can bring him in and learn some things from him, because he knows his shit. He's a Cannabis Cup winner.
Wow.
He's done some cool shit. But so the THC content depends on the product. If you're selling flower, which is a very, very gray area in Utah, and the only way you can acquire flower in Utah is online, and even then it's gray, because if the cops catch you, you're going to go to jail regardless, unless you have a medical card, and then you're probably still going to go to jail because it didn't come from one of the dispensaries, you know what I mean? So, but you can legally, the state cannot interrupt interstate commerce. So if it's coming through the mail and it's not sold retail or it's sold online, there's nothing they can do about it really. I mean, they're trying. They put out legislation this year that bans smokable hemp, but smokable hemp is a very demeaning term, and it's not really what it is. I mean, you can take hemp flower and turn it into anything. You can turn it into oils, to cookies, to you can smoke it, you can vape it, you just eat it. Some people eat straight hemp flower that's not been decarboxylated, so it's in the acidic form, so it doesn't really get you high. It has no effects, but it has very high in amino acids.
But it's got a nutritional value to it, right?
So if you juice it, or if you eat it raw like that, it's very good for you, and it doesn't get you high at all. Even raw marijuana, as long as it's not been aged, if it's fresh off the plant, you're eating raw marijuana, it's not going to do nothing to you. You have to convert that acid.
So it has to go through the process, the drying process, then all the different stages and everything that's going to.
So it has to be heated. It has to be heated in order for.
So it has to have heat to it?
Yeah.
So then that means it has to become into like a soluble or a liquid or something just like that, right?
No, because when you smoke it, you hit it with the flame, you get that heat. You know what I mean? Which removes the acid. So it's THCA, and as soon as it gets heated, or you take it and you put it on a cookie sheet for 30 minutes in your oven at 250 to 350. I don't remember the exact. I got a machine that does it for me. But it's been
professional.
It's been a while since I did it the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean?
I would just put it on the damn clothesline outside and called it a damn day. Old school as hell, to pray. I'll see you later, buddy.
We actually had, we built a drying facility this year, and I had to do that because I had too many plants, and I couldn't fit it all in my drying facility, and I was coming up on my 30 days for my harvest window, because they only give you 30 days to harvest, and I just ended up cutting them all down and hanging them up in the orchard underneath this, in the shade, you know.
Nothing wrong with that. That's, that's the old school way, okay? And I bet you go ask Willie Nelson, like, I remember putting it on the clothesline, you know? No old schoolers and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, y'all youngins nowadays, y'all getting all high tech with your dryers and your discombobulator and your tumblers.
We got this new grow going right now. We're going to be cryo curing. What that is you take a fresh plant, you put it in there with dry ice, you freeze it right
I
off the
heard
bat,
about that.
and then you stick it in a what's it called? Not, wow.
You been brain dead.
Yeah.
Look at you, just went just straight. Listen, what he trying to say, okay, you know, like, you know, you get
Put it in
your
freeze
stuff.
dry.
Yeah, you freeze it up, you know, like some bacon.
So you put it in a freeze dryer. So in itself, we'll be able to go from a freshly harvested plant to a cured and sellable product within 24 hours.
How the hell is that possible? You listen, you need to send me some research or something, because you know I'm always asking you 1,001 damn questions, okay? Because I don't understand. I mean, I'm legal, you know. You know, so in case any one of y'all want to talk some stuff, I'll whap my card at you, okay? You know, real quick. But you know, I'm just curious because I'm not like one of the little young kids anymore. You know, I'm not just doing this thing. Oh, I'm just gonna go smoke a blunt. Oh, I'm just gonna go get high. No, I'm actually at that age. You know, with my diabetes and everything else like this, that it actually helps with my pain, and it actually helps with all of the things that I got going on. And that's why I'm so curious, and that's why I wanted to have a conversation with you. Is that, you know, is to be able to just understand what it is, you know, the whole breakdown of the components. I don't understand this because why is it that, you know, okay, I understand the whole thing about CBD, I understand the whole thing about hemp, I understand the whole thing about marijuana, I understand the things about THC, but why is it that it's legal to sell CBD and it's not legal to sell marijuana, but it's all the same plant? I don't understand. What is the concept of thinking of that? Is that, you know, it is what it is. So why do you have to go through so many, why do they give you guys so many regulations and so many laws that you have to go through this, you got to do that for something that you can just throw it in the ground and it grows, Dustin? But alcohol, cigarettes, and all these other things, meth and heroin and all these other things, you know, you could pretty much, you can go to the liquor store and buy a whole cart full of liquor. How many people dying of drunk driving and all this other stuff and going and beating their wives and everything else like this, okay? Cigarettes, how many people are dying of cancer? They don't even have a cure for that. But you can smoke hemp, or you can smoke marijuana, or you can smoke CBD, and it helps with cancer.
Yeah, so I don't have an answer to that. You have to talk to these people that are
activists.
No, I understand what's going on, but I don't understand how these legislatures can think that they're doing any good, because the only thing they're doing is harming people.
But it's pushing more people out on the streets, like what you said before. This is how you started, you know. So it's not like, you know, this is your first rodeo or anything else like this. You know, you're man enough to admit that this is how I came into this. This is what happened to me. This is where I was, and I came to the realization that I want to do this right. So why is it so hard for other people that are making it so hard for young people like you and general, you know, and people out there that are trying to make a living out of this? But every time you look around, they're throwing a new law at you. They're throwing a new something at you. It's like they want you to fail.
Yeah, they do. It's because they fear it. They most of them are like, you know, and I don't want to throw names out there, but there are legislatures around here that are legislators, not legislatures, but they're old. You know, they were around in Reefer Madness days, and they, you know, and they're just stuck in their ways, and you know, it ain't gonna be much longer before they're out of office. You know that.
And that's true, because I don't understand, Dustin. It's like you're in a field right now, and you're starting as one of the pioneers and one of the few people here in Utah that are actually, you know what, doing this and developing and doing all this and growing and going through all these processes and everything like this. But here we are, we can have medical marijuana here in the state of Utah, but instead of coming to the growers that are already here, and, you know, and how can I say, you know, helping them out, they making it hard as hell for y'all. You know, why can't y'all, you know, they say, if you guys got all these licenses and all these things to be able to do this and all this production and everything, then why can't the dispensaries here in Utah utilize y'all instead of having to go other places?
Well, so they can buy our flower from us. It has to go through a grower, then it has to go to a processor. There's a really strict regimen on how the dispensaries themselves can acquire it. Problem is they want 20% flower, and Utah is a total THC state. So they want total THC to be 0.3 and under, and you can't hit 20. So if you take, let's say this, most plants are 30 to 1, 25 to 30 to 1.
That's a good
CBD to 1% THC, right? So if you take 0.3% THC, times it by 31, even let's give it a good number, 31, that's only 9% CBD.
Wow.
That's half of what the dispensaries want. So they make it impossible for us to sell to dispensaries. The new law that they're trying to pass right now, hopefully, we've been talking to Hankins and the senators that are involved in the committee that's over the hemp and stuff, and he's going to try and work with us, and I think we're coming to an understanding at this point, and hopefully in the near future we'll have vapable flower available in Utah, just like the medical marijuana department, because if they can have it, why can't we? I mean, they'd rather have people out there getting.
Yeah, because when I've gone to Colorado and everything like this, or Nevada or anything, they have CBD that's vapable. They have, you know, they have all these options of things that you could do. If you don't want THC, you know, they give you, you know, they be like, oh, here, this has just got all CBD in it, and they'll do it. It might have traces of THC in it, but it's not like this. But you come out here and it's like.
So in Colorado, they got all of it. They got the CBD that's like actual hemp flower, and then I get personally, and I have to have it imported, which really sucks because now I can't do that anymore because the laws changed and you can't get out-of-state products anymore.
I know, we were talking about that.
So, but they have, I got one called Mockingjay, and it's 15% CBD and 10% THC. It does great for me because it has the THC in a decent amount. You know, it's not crazy. It doesn't get you super high or nothing. But it kills my pain, and because I have a Chiari malformation, so my brain's coming out of my skull, compressing my spinal cord, and it affects my whole body neurologically, from my heart to my liver and my lungs, and it really messes me up. So having that is a good thing, but they don't grow that here, at all.
But you can't even grow it for yourself.
No.
I'm sorry, that's crazy. That is so crazy to me.
And I'm a licensed grower.
And you're a licensed grower. You can't even grow the medicine that helped you because of the state laws and things that are just like this. But this is what gets.
You know how much hemp I have to consume in order to equate to one bowl of that stuff? You know what I mean?
Oh my God, man, that's like a pound cake.
1/3 of 1% to equate to 10%. How much is that? 300 times? You know, I'd have to throw up smoke an ounce.
Be dead.
To fill the same I'd fill off one bowl of the other stuff. You know what I mean? And the good part about the chemo type 2 flower is it has the CBD and it counteracts the high, so it still gets you high, but it's not the same. It's very calm, and it's like something you'd use before work or something.
It's more medicinal feeling
Yeah.
and everything. But I think that, you know what, is that I want to let everybody else know is that, you know what, a lot of this education, a lot of things, because a lot of people are afraid, you know, to sit there and want the education and everything. And then that's why I was letting everybody know is that right now is that I've had this grand idea, and that's another reason why I wanted Dustin here, Mr. Hemp Don here himself with me today, is because I want to create a show to give that education and let people know what it's like on farm life. Okay, what is it that you go through? What is it that you have to go through? You know, talk about the laws and legislations, talk about how the healing of the herbs and what it is that you got to go through, you know, from plowing the fields to planting the first seed to letting people know that are interested in what it is that you do, and let them know how the medicine is put forth. And that's why I've been thinking about that, and that's why I'm sitting here and I'm talking about these things with you now, is because I think that, and whether you know that, you are putting out a public service and you're being a voice for people that can't speak for themselves. And that's why I think that, you know what, we have to look at so many different avenues of what it is that who the Hemp Don is and what it is, because one day, you know what, they're gonna open it up and all this stuff, and then everybody and their damn mama gonna be trying to come down to Utah to grow and to do this and to do that, and then that's when people gonna start becoming haters, and then, you know, that's when all the craziness is gonna start. But you were here
Hopefully
for
I
the
already got
beginning.
my hooks in by the time that happens. You know what I mean?
We're gonna make sure you got your hooks in it by the time it's happening. That's why I said linking up with me, that's the way to do it. And then I got my girl Tana King, that, you know what, with the coalition and everything that's done. Yeah, I shouted you out, Tana, because you my dog, man. I love you. But, you know, and all these other people and these young people that are coming, and I think that the more education that you put out there, the better off it's going to be, because that's going to set you above everybody else, because then that's not going to make you just give me your money. It's going to be like, here, this is why you're doing this. And that's why I talked about your product lines and everything that you already have out, and the distribution of those things. And that's what you guys need to look out. The Hemp Don's got some stuff he's getting ready. If you know what, I told him, merchandise. Until they let you do what you want to do, you got to do what you got to do. And so that's, you know, those are some things that we got looking out right there. And you know what, I'm very curious. If you had anything to say, if a young person came to you right now, a young 17-year-old just fresh out of, you know, high school and everything, they say, yo man, I want to go grow me some hemp, would you encourage them or would you discourage them?
Oh, I definitely encourage you.
I hope so, because you need workers.
In a realistic manner, if that makes sense, because a lot of people, this is their dream job. You know, they want to just grow pot and they think it's all hunky dory, chilling in the mountains. It's not like that. It's real work. After you move 10,000 pounds of dirt by hand, you know what I mean? Then your back can't. When you're pulling tarps over greenhouses and you're hanging lights for 12 hours a day in a 120-degree greenhouse because your power ain't hooked up yet. You know what I mean? It gets old fast. You know, and people don't realize what it actually takes to produce the medicine that they're consuming. And these guys, you know, a lot of these guys are in climate-controlled environments where they got millions of dollars. But us hemp farmers, I mean, there are.
Y'all to the dirt, man.
Yeah, we don't have the investors like the medical guys do, because obviously
we know the powers of be they got their hands in that.
So hemp is not worth as much as marijuana, obviously, so there's less profit in it. So we have a harder time getting investors, and everybody wants to invest in a marijuana farm.
Have you ever thought about, you know, what some of these Whole Food places and all these people that sells hemp products, that they got hemp cereal, they got hemp this, hemp that, hemp soap, hemp coffee, hemp everything.
So I'm very interested in hemp coffees and teas and stuff like that. The soaps are great. I'm not exactly sure how to get into the cereal market, but I'm looking into it.
You know, if I'm throwing it out there to you, it's like I'm like, gonna get some real Captain Crunch.
The problem is Utah just passed or tried to pass these laws, and like I said before, we're working with Incan and these other communities to try to smooth things out here. But Walmart pulled their hemp lotions right off the shelf. All their hemp vegetarian burgers, pulled them off the shelves, pulled everything. It doesn't even have CBD in it. They're pulling them off the shelves because Utah passed laws that are trying to shut down the entire industry. Well, they didn't pass them. They're up for votes this session, and we have quite the following. And Tana's been helping out, and there's quite a few other people. And we reached out to Desiree Hennessy and the Utah Patients Coalition, and we've stirred up quite the storm. And
that's what you got to do.
And we don't have any other choice, otherwise they're going to put us out of business, and we're going to be right back at square one.
And then they're going to be sitting there and listen. They can. I'm just going to be real, okay? And everybody who knows me, and if you get interviewed by me, I'm just going to be real. I'm not going to sit here and ask all these stock questions. I ain't got time for that shit. I mean, just really, this is how I am. But I don't understand the logic or the thinking is that you want to criminalize something that is natural. And you would rather spend millions of dollars putting people in jail for something that is a plant and that is natural, instead of sitting there and understanding that everybody in a damn mama is legalizing this plant. and everybody around us is, even states that you wouldn't have never thought of, is legalizing this plant. And so what you're doing is you're taking the drug dealers who have a natural talent from marijuana dealers that are going out there and doing exactly what these people are doing legally, and you're putting them in prison for years and years and years, instead of developing programs and putting them for farmers like you, letting them come on outreach things and let them be farmers, let them do all the things and do, become a legal asset to life,
I got lucky. I got busted with a half pound and an AK-47 down in St. George back in...
That gun is what was going to get you.
2000. Well, we were just out camping we got the little Colorado City out there, those play kids, they know how to party. You know what I mean?
Shit, how many signs I see out here? Listen, there's not a dirt road you can't go to in friggin' damn Utah that ain't got shot up. Like it's like Compton.
So we were just out there partying, drinking some beer, having a bonfire, come back and put the gun down and put my weed down that I just purchased, went to the liquor store and come back, and the feds had my house. My roommate was on probation. That was probably my fault. It was stupid. I was just a kid, 20 years old, whatever. Thought I would get away with it, but they came back in. The probation officers came in, seen the AK, called the feds. SWAT team took over my house, and then I pulled up.
You just walked into a hornet's nest.
It was horrible. And then I ended up with federal gun charges, and luckily it was my first offense, so I got a plea in abeyance. So I had to do 2 years of probation, community service, all this shit, and eventually it came off my record. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation.
Because they expunged it. That's the good thing. So that's what I don't understand is that instead of creating more crime, why can't we create a society where we can take these young people off the street trying to make money and put them into a legitimate thing that they could be, like community service, right? When you had to do community service, you had probation. Take these damn kids and say, okay, you want to be in weed so damn much, let me go let you put in some time on this farm.
Oh, we do that. We bring people in, and we let them, so a couple times a year, usually during harvest season, we'll bring people in and let them volunteer and hang out, and we'll provide lunches for them and give them the education that they want, so that way they can go out and get a job, Like, for instance, we had this guy, Shane Best, and sure, I probably shouldn't have said his name, but anyway, he's my homeboy from high school, and he went through his own little spat of problems, and he just got off probation today.
That's what's up.
And he's working on getting an expungement so he can do his own thing, but he, congrats to him on that, for sure.
If you need some expungement, I know some people.
And so he came out and he pitched a tent on my back lawn, and he went to work every day, 10 hours a day for 2 weeks, and busted his ass. And one of the other farmers seen that and took him on, and he's the head grower for that farm now that grows 75,000 plants.
That's what's up.
So he went.
So the system does work. That system works. But so then that's what that's all of that. I just don't understand it. But then again, you know what? It's like we would say okay for all of this other craziness to happen and all these other things to go down, but then again, things that are actually helping people are, going, and we got to go, Mario and Tana and all them and all these legislators. I just hope that when that vote comes that it finally can get y'all back to work, because with this COVID and all this stuff that is going on, it's really put a damper into a lot of people's plans. And then a lot of people said, oh my God, I can start selling CBD. And the next thing you know, I looked around in Utah, all these dang CBD shops popped up. I mean, popping up everywhere.
And it really sucks because half these guys are selling isolates. And like you said, Utah only wants isolates.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, it's still legal to sell full spectrum, but you have to get it into a very small form of parameters that they are very strict on, and they're asking.
They don't want no THC in it.
No, they don't.
If you're gonna sell CBD here in the in Utah, it better not even have no trace whatsoever.
If you're not a PhD chemist and you can get that perfect, I mean, you run the risk of having your whole shit shut down every time they come in and test. Yeah, every time they test, because it's still legal as long as it's under 0.3% THC. But getting in those parameters is hard unless you know what the hell you're doing, And so.
So it's like a scientific thing. You have to be like.
Yeah, they want everything to come out of the lab. What I like to do is I got this machine, man. You decarboxylate it, it heats it up, activates the chemicals in it. You pour whatever carrier oil that you want in there, and you infuse it straight into that oil. And it's a full plant spectrum, and you take a little bit, you can down half one of these bottles, and a little shot, like a little dripper of mine, is going to do way more than like a half a bottle of what they're selling.
That's because you're putting in work on it. You're not just sitting there,
Because it's real.
That's exactly what it is. And so that's why I want to just make sure, and I wanted to give everybody a little bit of taste of what's going on in the Salt Flats. And when is this vote is going to be happening?
Sometime, I think this next month is when they're going to, it's during this session, and this session has already started. They just moved it, they already voted on it, and they had 0 no's. Which is bad for us. And they moved it to committee because after we found that out, that happened, we went into a fit. And it's not just us, it's the Vape Business Association, it's the Utah Patients Cannabis and Natural Sources. They got the Utah Patients Coalition. There's a lot of people fighting this bill right now. And quite frankly, we're all pissed. And even the THC guys are turning and helping us because, and which is really, well, I don't want to say that exactly. So there are people in the THC market that want to force us to sell all of our products through them and through their dispensary so they can make all of the money and screw us out.
But that's not right.
But that's what they're doing. It's all cronyism. If you go back and you read the Salt Lake Tribune and the Fox News, and if you would have went back 2 months ago, 3 months ago, they came out with a report saying that they found cronyism in the Utah Department of Agriculture. I'm not going to say the guy's name, you can do the research yourself and find out what happened, but basically what happened is this guy, he came in, he put all of his buddies in place, gave them all medical marijuana licenses, his friends, and then he dropped out. He quit his job right after he did that, so he couldn't be prosecuted.
Wow.
So basically, and now what they're trying to do, and you got guys like Vickers, Vickers is the biggest drug dealer in Utah. He owns a lot of pharmacies down by Cedar City, St. George area. He sells a lot of opioids, and this is kind of his money, and he is on the committee.
So then it's damned if you do and damned if you don't. And so the more and more y'all speak, the more and more they start putting all these persecutions on y'all and all these things, because when it all first started out.
The more loopholes we figure out.
So do we, the people, get the vote on this, or is it just an inside thing that gets the vote on it?
They send it to legislature votes on it, and they send it off. And I hope it doesn't have to come to this, because we put plenty of bills up in front of legislature for medical marijuana, and it wasn't until a ballot initiative was set forth until they actually were forced to do it. And I really hope it doesn't come to a ballot initiative to get hemp legal in an already legal state.
But what if they come in and they say, okay, and just say by the grace of God, they say that, you know what, that marijuana can be grown here in the state of Utah. Will you have to change your licensing over? Would you have to do it, or would you just not have to go through all that processing that you guys have to go through?
Well, as it stands right now, we're already working on a marijuana bid in one of my businesses. I have several businesses that I'm involved in.
I know, you's a pimp. Okay, so it'd be hemp don, should be pimp don. Okay, you got it going.
And I don't want to give out too much information because it's still in the early stages.
Yeah,
but
don't be telling people, because then your haters be like this and they know how to get you, man. That's why I don't be telling folks nothing.
Oh yeah, and then there's NDAs and other things that if I go much further than that, then I'll be compromised.
Yeah, then they be ready to sue you and you take all your hemp money.
So, but it really comes down to these guys have control over the medical establishment in the state of Utah, and they are deciding and legislating all of our laws for us. So basically, they're manipulating the system through cronyism in order to benefit them and them only.
Well, isn't that the way that it normally goes down? But you would think about it like this: I would try to get with the people that I know that I'm going to be able to get, make some bread with and everything. Because I'll be honest with you, Dustin, I've never, ever in all my years, okay, have I ever seen you go to a dispensary and they don't have any medicine. And that's happened here in Utah, man. And I'm sitting and I'm like, wait a minute. how is it that you don't got no medicine, or you don't have no, no, I'm just gonna say medicine because I'm old school. I will start calling it for what it is, okay? But you got all of these people around here that can grow, and they can, you know how much empty land there is in friggin' Utah that is fertile, okay?
And the county I live in has more empty land than probably any other county in the state of Utah.
Okay.
As far as farmland.
But they don't have no product. I mean, multiple people will come. So how would that be if you go to a regular hospital and you need your insulin and they tell you that we don't got no insulin? So what is the patient just supposed
just like they don't have no ventilators for the COVID patients.
So what are they gonna do? Just sit there and be like, oh, goodbye world, I'm out. Okay, that doesn't be so. If they're gonna say that it's medical and they're gonna let people, this is my view, okay? If they're gonna say something is medical, and if there's gonna, they've proven through test of time that this helps people. The ancients, our ancestors, been using it for the longest time before they even had any laws making shoes and clothes and paper and everything else like this. Then it should be on the same standards as other medical pharmacies or drugs or anything else just like that. Just because big pharmas and all them things like this are not making money off of it.
That and we would like to be able to just go in and buy it, but there is a love-hate relationship there when it comes to making it like other pharmaceuticals, because once you make it like other pharmaceuticals, they want it to come through a lab. They want to synthesize it. They want to be able
like
to patent
Marinol.
it. Yeah, they want Marinol. They want what was it? Elixir. No, what was that new CBD product? It's the first FDA. It starts with Elixir.
I ain't putting shit in my body that came from a damn pharmacy.
So back in 2010, I did the whole spice thing, the whole the synthetic marijuana thing. And you don't want none of those fucking chemicals in your system.
Shit, in Miami, they had folks going around like zombies, biting folks on the neck. Like I'm saying.
I knew some guys in St. George that we were involved in, and they were moving millions. The dude had like $200 million worth of spice. And he was selling it to Florida, he was selling it to Georgia, he was selling it to New York, he was selling it all over the country.
I believe it because people was going crazy in Florida. I'm from Florida, okay, so I know I was seeing folks jumping.
They were manufacturing
it
in fucking storage units in Hurricane. We're using the damn cement mixer and just throwing the chemical in there with what is it
They
called?
had bath salts. They were making it out of all kinds of
They were
stuff, huffing it. I don't know what the hell. I was like, damn. I said,
you got these crackheads running around out here talking to the sky, thinking they're doing meth and they're doing bath salts. They're talking, they're eating each other's faces off and shit.
But then again,
you can't smoke weed.
But you can't smoke weed and can't get no hemp soap. Okay, to keep your skin.
Yeah, you can't get hemp lotion that doesn't even have CBD in it. Like, what the hell?
Dude, I'm telling you just like this, but you know what? I just want everybody, to let you know that I wanted to get Dustin out here so you guys can get a little feel of the man that I'm getting ready to work with, and we're going to be putting out this project. And I guess this is just like our little coming out party of, the conglomeration between Hemp, Don, and GME Media. And we're going to go out there and we're going to start letting you guys see piece by piece of what's going on here. That's okay. This is the babies. Okay, I'm listening. This is my show. Okay, I can do what I want to do. And babies come by, we here in the store. Sometimes the mailman come and give me some mail. You never know what's going on, but we never stop our stride. But I want to thank everybody for being here with us tonight. And you know what? Why don't you let them know all your social media and everything where they can find you at?
So,
Hemp Don.
The Hemp Don on Facebook, Utah Hemp Don on Instagram. My name's Dustin Smith on Facebook too, if you want to reach out to me. So I was thinking, we've been doing a lot of wholesale shit, and we for the next week, if you want to hit me up directly, if you don't want to go out to these stores and buy your own, buy CBD oil that's pre-made, I will sell straight to you. I will hit. We got to do this in a different way to be in compliance with their stupid laws, but I will get you your hemp to make your own CBD oils, flour, whatever you want to do with it. It's not my business. Once you purchase it, that's your business.
And hemp ain't got no THC in it, so it ain't against the law. Okay, you can help people.
It'll come with a notice to law enforcement. It'll come with a COA, but I will get it to you at wholesale. What I sell it to our distributors at for the next week, just as a thing for for the little lady right here. So
Told y'all I was the plug. Nobody don't be listening to me, man. I be trying to
if
tell
you go to my
them.
website, thehempdon.com, and you see any of those prices for the next week, I will cut those prices in half if you hit me up personally, and I will send it out to you directly personally from myself.
And you know what? All you gotta do is just say Guerrilla Mafia sent you, and you can get half off all your hemp products, everything at the Hemp Don. I'm gonna be putting his information on our websites. I'm gonna be putting it in this video. I'm going to be putting it everywhere. And I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all better get in on this half off. Come on now, that's a bargain, okay? You ain't gonna be able to go get that stuff, and he's got the good.
I'm talking about selling a whole pound for the cost you to get a couple ounces.
You hear that?
So
make it, and it's hemp, okay, and it's legal. So check him out at the hempdon.com. And if you guys want to know anything, you know you can always ask the Empress. I always know everything, and trust me, I talk to this man all the time. Look out for our new TV show that we're gonna series that we're gonna be having. It's gonna be letting everybody know about this. What you gonna be getting for half off. We're gonna let you know how it got to that point to be half off, okay?
yeah, we're going direct to consumer.
See, he's already getting used to the camera. We better get used to it, because I'm gonna have it in his face. And I just want to let everybody know that, you know, this what's going on in Guerrilla Mafia News right now. This is what's really up on the Salt Flats right now. You hear with the Empress, and you hear with my boy Dustin, the Hemp Don himself. He just gave y'all, because of our little collab, you know, you can get half off for this week. So come on out, support, show the man some love, and get ready. And it's going to be the shows we're developing it right now. It's going to be on our YouTube channel for Guerrilla Mafia Media LLC. And you know, and I want to thank you. It's going to be all over our Instagrams, Facebooks, all that good stuff that is going on. And Dustin, I want to thank you, baby, for being here with me today. And I just want to tell everybody, we out. Look for him. Hemp Don in the house. Welcome to the Salt Flats. We love you. Peace. Okay.
Ooh. 2 times for these niggas. What? Ooh. Yeah. For these niggas. What? Oh, what? She wanna fuck, I got me a chick. She wanna fuck, she know I'm a nigga. She wanna fuck, the ice on my neck. I ain't no Ricky, bitch, I'm a vet. You don't wanna test, she don't love me, she just wanna sit. Yeah. Don't wanna test, she don't love me, she just wanna sit. She wanna fuck, I got me a chick. She wanna fuck, she know I'm a nigga. She wanna fuck, the ice on my neck. I ain't no Ricky, bitch, I'm a vet. Don't wanna test, she don't love me, she just wanna sit. Yeah. She don't love me, she just wanna sit. Yeah. She don't love me, she just wanna sit. She just love me cause the ice on my neck. She just wanna rub all on my chest. She just love me cause she know I'm a nigga. Yeah. And these niggas better bitch. Yeah. Cause you know there ain't no test. Bitch, you know I been a vet. Yeah. I been had some stain in the streets. You know I'm a G. You want beef, hit you in your teeth.